The connections between Mexico and San Antonio are historic and continue to thrive in our community through cultural events, economic exchanges, and the ever-important educational experiences that the San Antonio-Mexico Friendship Council supports. Interestingly, in the last 2 months alone, we have been visited by the U.S. Ambassador to Mexico, the Honorable Ken Salazar, and by the Mexican Ambassador to the U.S., His Excellency Esteban Moctezuma. They have loved it here, by the way. They've arrived full of questions and curiosity and have left teeming with plans and ideas that we are going to bring to fruition. We're in the midst of coordinating with both of them on diverse initiatives to benefit all of San Antonio and both of our countries. So we look forward to continuing our strong relationship between Mexico and San Antonio and supporting the great work of SAMFCO.
The San Antonio-Mexico Friendship Council was founded in 1990 for the purpose of celebrating and promoting and continuing to nurture the long historic ties that San Antonio has with Mexico. We fund scholarships, and we're very proud of the impact that we've had over the years in providing scholarship money for Mexican national and Mexican American students, including Dreamers most recently, that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to pursue higher education. We also very proudly now help fund some of the community programs operated out of our Mexican consulate in San Antonio.
The Consulate General is fortunate to count on numerous allies that allow us to expand our operation and impact. In choosing an ideal candidate for the Otley Award, we consider different aspects. This prestigious award is bestowed by the government of Mexico to individuals that prioritize helping our community above all and inspire those around to follow the lead. Dr. Flores has focused on helping an entire community of dreamers, among others. He learned from the hard work and example of his parents, his family, and his community, who taught him with effort and commitment. He has provided opportunities and pathways for unprivileged students to achieve success. As the Chancellor of Alamo Colleges District, the network of colleges with the highest Mexican-American enrollment rate in the nation, Dr. Flores has driven the creation of financial aid programs, alongside efforts to provide emotional support to Mexican-American immigrants that have faced hardship during their path to higher education. Dr. Flores, muchas felicidades por este merecido reconocimiento a nombre del Gobierno de México. Muchas gracias. Enhorabuena.
Dr. Flores has really come in as the first Latino Chicano chancellor of the Alamo colleges. And that's been really amazing because it really shines a light and a vision for our community and our students who are thinking what could be. Dr. Flores has been a colleague and a mentor for over 20 years within my career. And I know that I would not be where I'm at today as president of Palo Alto College. And I know that I would not have grown had it not been for him in my life. But more importantly, I'm one person of thousands that Dr. Flores has reached. And if I were to say, Dr. Flores, I would say thank you not only for myself, but the thousands that you have reached, both on a professional level, your colleagues, your family, and your community.
Dr. Flores really walks the talk here in this community. He's a person that totally embraces the fact of inclusion, of diversity, of equity, and he demonstrates that by everything that we do at the Alamo colleges. The fact that Dr. Flores is being honored for this incredible award from Mexico, and that myself am a Mexican-American, I'm extremely proud. And I often like to think of Dr. Flores as es hijo de este pueblo, es hijo del pueblo. He belongs to this community, he grew up in this community, he graduated from high school in this area, and so the fact that students will come to our door, everything that we do, and not just because we're Mexican Americans ourselves, but because it's the right thing to do for this community is to embrace anyone and everyone who comes.
Mi estimado doctor Mike Flores, muchas felicidades en este reconocimiento por parte del gobierno mexicano, muy merecido para ti. Te agradecemos mucho todo el trabajo y desempeño que llevas a cabo en nuestra comunidad. Enhorabuena.
Congratulations, Papi. We are so proud of you for getting this important and big award.
Congratulations, Papi. You are so hardworking. I hope to one day be half the leader that you are. So thank you for inspiring me.
Thank you so much for doing everything you do, and congratulations.
To me, it's really an honor. Growing up, it was an understanding that I was a Mexican American, but I never really, until I was an adult, had the opportunity to travel to Mexico, to look at the history of where I came from, and to actually add a richness to the stories that I was told growing up. And so the Otli, for me, is a deep honor. Buenas noches. I think we all haven't been out in a long time, so we'll have to do it again, right? Buenas noches. All right, there we go. So, muchísimas gracias, Consul, Tocayo Rubén Menuti, Sanata. And I really want to thank the SAMFCO board. I want to thank Juan Antonio. I know this is your swan song, ¿verdad? Luis Escareño, I know you're just beginning. And I also want to thank my colleague who sits on the board, Alejandra Bueno. I want to thank my dear friend and our mayor for what he does day in and day out, and especially what he's done the last 20 months to keep us safe. Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank my family. I want to thank mi amor, Marta. Thank you for everything you do. I had those two wonderful little girls on the video joining Marta in our home, so I want to thank Mara, Zoe, and Mia Jimena. They're back there, a few tables. Can you all wave right over here? And I want to thank my mom, Asened Hernandez Flores, Mom. And they say that your friends are your chosen family, and I'm fortunate to be joined by many friends here this evening. So I want to thank all of you, mis amigos, nuestros amigos, for being here this evening. Thank each and every one of you for being here and celebrating this honor. And it really is an honor to join distinguished Otli San Antonio recipients, right? So as you look at the program, you see Secretary Henry Cisneros, Empresario Carlos Alvarez, who himself is a supporter of the Alamo Colleges District. A fellow Chancellor Canciller, I saw him earlier, Dr. Francisco Cigarroa, who was recognized, and I also had the opportunity to talk with Patricia Stout. And I want to recognize the Familia Herrera and thank them. It's an honor to be in their league as well. So to Frank and Cecilia, and to our compadres Jorge and Victoria, because I think that as we know, this is all, one of my favorite sayings in Spanish is en bola. We do it together. It's a team effort, ¿verdad? So I just want to acknowledge to be in this league, I think means a lot. And in particular, to share the stage this evening with a remarkable businesswoman like Rosa Santana is also an honor. So I'm humbled and proud to receive the Otli. I know it took us a little while to get here, Consul and Juan Antonio, right? But finally we are here, having gone through one of the most challenging times as our community makes this occasion feel more special. And for me, today is an even more special and significant day because it would have been my father's 82nd birthday today. So I know that he's looking down on me and on us, and he's toasting in heaven in his cowboy boots and listening to Pepe Aguilar. So this recognition is important to me as a third-generation Mexican-American. On my mom's side, with several generations living in Del Rio, Texas, the U.S. border crossed them. So in their heart, they are both proud Mexicanos and Americanos. On my father's side, his family came from Coahuila and settled in Del Rio. My father would often remind me and my brothers, and Mara, that his grandfather was a proud descendant of the Yaqui Indians of northern Mexico. It's a legacy I don't take lightly, as Marta and I raise two proud young Mexicanas. Earlier, you heard one of the Gala chairs talk about her journey here and how significant it is, right, Doctora? So both of my parents' families became part of the migrant farm worker streams growing up. So my mom's family traveled through the American Midwest to pick crops, picking potatoes in Idaho, traveling to Michigan to pick crops. My father, in fact, as a teen, worked in the canneries of California. He said it was one of the hardest things he's ever done. And I think it's fitting to receive this honor, and it's fitting that the speakers tonight talked about the value of education, because both of their parents told them that their future didn't have to be in the fields, that through education, a better life was possible. In fact, my father was able to go to college and graduate school through both the GI Bill and a fellowship to earn his master's degree. He was a proud Mexicano, he was a proud Tejano, and he was a proud American who served as a U.S. Marine. And I guess the Alamo colleges must be in our blood, because he gave 28 years of service and retired as a dean from San Antonio College. And day in and day out, he did that because he wanted to serve, and in particular, he wanted to serve students who had the same journey, had the same lived experience, and who oftentimes looked like him. See, someone gave my dad, Ruben Flores, a chance, and he always believed in doing the same. One of the things he would often tell us is he would ask 3 questions. He would ask, what are your plans? How are you going to get there? And how are you going to serve your community? My mother, Asenet, attended college as a working adult. After she had me, she served as a licensed counselor. Her life was dedicated to helping those who struggled with dependency regain control of their own lives. So their lives inspired me to realize who I am and how far I can go, but most importantly, to always give a voice to those who need it. As you can see, growing up, I was taught and experienced both the struggles and successes of being Mexican American in the southwestern United States. Fast forward to 1995, where I met Marta. She was born, when I met Marta, in Chicago. She was born in Chicago, but she was raised in San Luis Potosí. There you go, you've got some paisanos. And through our relationship, as I noted in the video, I discovered the richness of Mexico. When, thanks to her, and over the last 26 years, I've understood more about its culture, its history, and its people. In fact, to marry, we had to do that in San Luis Potosí y en español. So I want to ask, I mentioned earlier, and you saw them in the video, I want to ask my daughters, Mara and Mia, to stand. They're a little shy, but I'm going to ask them to stand. Because they are the future, and they are what not only San Antonio looks like, but what the future of the country will look like. Because they have been lucky to immerse themselves in the richness of both countries and cultures, living and succeeding in the United States and then traveling throughout Mexico while spending time with their abuelita, tíos, tías, and primos. Mara is proud to say that Spanish, in fact, was her first language, and she didn't even learn English until she went to pre-K. And we were fortunate that my suegra helped and ensured that she was able to raise her in those early years, so that she actually is a little different than me. I read in English and have to translate it into Spanish. She reads more often than not in Spanish and then translates it into English, and I think that's a wonderful gift. So what does the Otli mean to me professionally as Chancellor of the Alamo College's district? And it was noted in the video that I'm proud to have served and to be the first Mexican-American Chancellor of the Alamo Colleges. And I'm proud to serve with the vision articulated by our Board of Trustees to support 100,000 students. Think of the impact, and the mayor mentioned earlier about Alamo Promise, but think about those 100,000 students and the value, their dreams, their hopes and passions. Many of them are here tonight. That is 100,000 lives that we impact each and every day. And I'm just one of 5,000 folks. So I want to ask my colleagues, and I want to ask Dr. Sprague and Dr. Katz and Ms. Ray, Dr. Pulido, Mr. Alderete, our student trustees, Asia and Talia. I want to ask you all to stand. I want to ask my colleagues that are here from the Alamo Colleges District, faculty and staff, to stand so we can honor them. This is a team effort. This is a job that each and every one of us do every day, and we are all committed to improving those 100,000 lives. In fact, as we are one of the largest Latino-serving higher education institutions within the United States, and here in San Antonio, in your community, is the #1 community college system within the country. So 100,000 students, and the vast majority of those look like everyone in this room and look like everyone in San Antonio, Bexar County, in our service area. Students who look like my father, who look like me, who look like my daughters, Mara and Mia. Students who in many cases are the first ones to go to college and earn a degree. Imagine the trajectory of their lives being changed because of all of the work that we do at the Alamo Colleges District in partnership with each and every one of you in this room to ensure that we have a better community. And we're also fortunate to provide advocacy and educational opportunity to hundreds of dreamers who are seeking a better life for themselves and their families. And in fact, we've been challenged because some might think that dreamers don't deserve an opportunity to educational access. But I disagree. And that's why we have been fortunate to partner with private donors and to be able to raise funds and scholarships. And why we're fortunate to partner with the Mexican government and the Consul and with SAMFCO to provide Mexican students with a path to a better future, to ensure their success in this country that they also love. So not long ago, I heard a quote. Mexico es mi madre, the United States es mi padre, and it made me think, it made me take a step back and think of the bond that we in San Antonio have with our neighbor next door. I think of the lives that we touch, our students who have strong roots in Mexico, their families, their grandparents. I think of my own family crossing the border or having the border cross them. I think of my girls feeling connected to a country that gives us so much, that gives us our workforce, our students, our traditions, and our culture here in San Antonio. What a blessing we have here in San Antonio and within the United States to celebrate our interwoven destinies that began centuries ago and to continue to honor both countries and cultures through respect and through partnership. Carlos Fuentes once said that culture consists of connections and not of separations. So with this honor, it is my goal to continue personally to make connections and work with my colleagues to advance our students in our community. So thank you, Consul, for this honor. Thank you to the Mexican government. Muchísimas gracias de corazón.
The government of Mexico, through the IME as well, created in 2018 the Mexicanos Distinguidos Award as a way to recognize outstanding Mexican nationals who have shown undeniable success, recognition, and merit through their professional careers. This prestigious award is presented to individuals that have built an astounding path through hard work and skills, showing the world what Mexicans are made of. The Mexicanos Distinguidos awardees are true ambassadors of Mexico abroad, inspiring our community, breaking stereotypes, and creating bridges in a country that has kindly welcomed them. I am much honored to announce our first ever awardee, Ms. Rosa Santana, a Mexicana Distinguida. Since I had the pleasure to meet Rosa, I knew she was the ideal candidate for such recognition. If you look at the screen, let me share with you the story behind this video. Just 3 months ago, we had the pleasure to join Ambassador of Mexico to the U.S., His Excellency Esteban Moctezuma Barragán, at Toyota, in announcing personally to Ms. Santana that the government of Mexico would be honoring her with this award, a well-deserved distinction to an amazing paisana. We all know the merits and success of Rosa, but it didn't come easy. These accomplishments are the results of 30 years of an astounding business career in Texas and in Mexico, which has taken her to be the founder and CEO of the Santana Group. This extraordinary businesswoman has showed us that courage, discipline, and hard work are fundamental, particularly in a highly competitive industry as the automotive. A leader that is not afraid to learn, innovate, and reinvent herself, creating jobs in the United States and in Mexico, strengthening our supply chains and our bilateral relation. Beyond this, Rosa has dedicated countless hours to mentoring women who sought to follow her lead and independently join the workforce, including her 2 daughters, by the way. We're truly blessed and honored to have you here in San Antonio. Let us welcome Rosa Santana to the stage to present her, and for the first time in San Antonio, this award. Rosa, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening. Buenas noches a todos. What a beautiful evening this is, and thank you so much for being here tonight. Congratulations, Dr. Mike Flores. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you, and I am so inspired by your vision to eliminate poverty in San Antonio through education. Thank you for that. You are most deserving of this Otley Award. Felicidades. And thank you, Consul Menuti Sanata. Thank you, Consul Menuti Sanata. Sorry. Consul Monreal Avila and Consul Ponce Avalos for nominating me for this prestigious award. Thank you for recognizing my professional and personal trajectory as a Mexicana who has lived in this wonderful country practically all of my life, but one who has never forgotten her roots. I am truly honored and deeply humbled to receive the Mexicana Distinguida Award here tonight. I am very proud to be a Mexicana living the American dream, which came as a result of my mother's tenacity and will to provide her children an opportunity for a better life. We moved to the United States when I was 5 years old, but luckily for me, I spent many of my summers in San Francisco del Oro, Chihuahua, with my maternal grandparents, and many weekends with my paternal grandparents in Ciudad Juarez. I was truly raised in two countries. True to my roots, during my corporate career, I created business opportunities for the two corporations I led to compete in Mexico. Later, exactly 20 years ago, as an aspiring entrepreneur, I started my first business in both the United States and Mexico simultaneously, capitalizing on the relationships that I had started when I worked in the corporate world. So those who know me know that I have dedicated much of my life, my professional life, to impacting lives by putting people to work. My teams have worked hard to differentiate while expanding our capabilities and building capacity. And I am extremely proud to be able to do that, all of that, in both here, the United States and in Mexico. All of that hard work helped prepare us to diversify into manufacturing when the opportunity came for us to become, as our mayor said, the first Hispanic woman direct Tier 1 supplier to Toyota. We are very proud of that. Thank you. For the past 6 years, we have assembled thousands of truck beds for Toyota. Today, we assemble Tacoma truck beds in Guanajuato, Mexico, and Tundra truck beds right here in San Antonio. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Toyota, for your leadership and mentorship, and thank you to all of the compadres from Toyota and the others that are visiting here from other places. Thank you for honoring me here tonight with your presence. And as Steve Jobs said, great things in business are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people. I am proud to lead a team of experts to include my two daughters, who are also my business partners, Nicole Navarro Veleciotis and Lisa Navarro Gonzalez. Please stand. I am so proud of these girls. As well as our CFO, Fernando Peralta. He's like my son. They drive teams of subject matter experts to deliver what we do through their teams. Thank you, teams, for all you do. This recognition wouldn't be possible without you. This is your recognition. In closing, I'd like to thank the Mexican government for bestowing this honor upon me. And I'm very proud that it's another first for me, right? This is the first one they give anyone here in San Antonio. So, muchas gracias. Buenas noches.